Hello and welcome to the 24th devlog for Lunal Lane. If you don't know, Lunal Lane is a Metroidvania game, kinda sort of fused with the Collectathon, and it's basically my dream game that I've been making for about a year now. If you do want to watch them all in order though, you can go to the link in the description, or you can wait until the end of the video for the little circular little card thingy to appear, and you can watch the entire playlist. Is it even a circle? I think it's a square. If you've noticed, it's actually been a few weeks since I've uploaded a new video. That's actually because I'm reworking how I want to do videos. I want to take a little bit of extra time to make a bunch of awesome stuff in my game and then show it to you guys. So my videos may take a little bit longer to make, but I promise they'll be packed with a bunch more awesome stuff. I'm also trying to grind to 10k. Also, thank you to the Real Unity Twitter for actually saying, let's get to 10k. Thank you guys very much. Come on guys, you gotta give me to 10k. Unity believed in it. So you guys gotta believe in it too, you know what I'm saying? So if you've seen the original Lunal Lane, you would know that the beginning place is called Haunted Household, and I didn't want this game to be any different. So this is the new Haunted Household. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a walkthrough of some of the areas and show you some of the cool stuff and some of the enemies. While we're exploring all of this new stuff, I'm also going to be talking about some of the new sounds, so I'll talk about some of the new sounds that you're hearing right now. So as you probably know, this is the mousy enemy. There's two different variants. There's one over here that just kind of walks, and there's also one that shoots out a little projectile, a golden orb. You can hear the sound of like gold, some sort of metal, maybe like coin shaking when he shoots out this orb. That's because his ability is actually a golden orb. So you can see Mousy launches a golden orb that deals 3 damage. A lot of people think that it's electricity because they think it's like a Pikachu reference, like an electric mouse thing. But no, it's actually a golden orb. One of the main ideas for how I got this enemy actually is, in video games, I've always wondered how when you kill an enemy, it just drops money. That was a bad example because it didn't drop any money. I've always wondered how in video games you would kill something like a tiny little rat and it would just drop some coins. So I was thinking, what if it's a magical rat that it is money? It does have money. What am I saying? Here's another little room I have here showing off some other cool stuff. Like there's a little candle. There's also this door that's opened. I'm not fully finished with this, but I think the idea of it is cool. The sound effects that I made for the Mousy when you hit it and also when it dies, I actually just pitched up the sound of the door squeaking. So I just went and I recorded a door opening and closing, and then I sort of pitched it up and I kind of added a little bit of effect to it. So you actually can hear, if you listen very closely, you can actually hear that it's actually a door opening and closing. Also, I've noticed that you can hear me when I'm playing the game and I'm clicking on my keyboard. So I'm actually playing the game on controller, which on controller everything does indeed work on controller. So there is full controller support right now. So this is the new enemy I want to show off. It is called the Plirit, and this bookshelf over here in the first room actually explains it a lot better. The Plirit is a playful spirit that forms as a result of excess magic. Plirits are formed of either positive or negative energy. The energy determines their color and nature. Blue is negative, while green is positive. So of course I couldn't make a haunted area without adding a ghost enemy. I actually was researching a lot into horror and scary tropes and things like that, and I've noticed a lot that there's sort of a bunch of different types of ghosts. There's ones that are evil, like sort of like demons, and there's ones that are just playful and they, you know, like poltergeists. They just knock stuff around and they just mess with you. They don't really have an evil intent, they're just kind of messing around with people. So that's how I came up with the idea for these guys. One of the best parts about making this enemy was making these awesome sound effects, so here, listen to these. If you're wondering how I made those sound effects, it's a mixture of my voice and cats. The Plirit also has another variant that sort of runs around. I think it's really cute. If you're wondering why it walks so weird, I was thinking, what would a flying ghost do if it had legs? How would it walk? And I was just thinking, like, I think it would like walk really like weird and it would have a weird bounce to its step. Like, it's not used to having legs. Of course, every enemy has a card, so I will show you the Plirit card. The Plirit card throws out a friendly Plirit that deals damage over time. So let's equip that. I would say the best use for the Plirit card is using it on stationary enemies. It actually just throws out a Plirit that moves forward, and it deals damage over time when it's overlapping another enemy. So a good example for showing you this is actually the Mousies that stand still and shoot. You can see it actually goes through multiple times. It also has the sound effects for the Plirit so you can hear. when he goes away. And whenever he hits something, it does the little oop sound. Enemies drop different things depending on what kind of enemy they are. So the mousy, obviously it's made out of money, so the mousy obviously has sort of a thing with money, so it does tend to drop more money than mana. The Plirits are sort of made out of magical spiritual energy, so they do tend to drop more mana than they would drop coins. That's a terrible example. Bad example number 2 on this video. There you go, you can see that it dropped 2 mana, whereas the mousy normally just drops coins. The design idea for this area, I actually named it Haunted Household when I was first creating Lunal Lane, because I imagined the entire house was just a big haunted house, but now I've created it so that this is like an inn or like a hotel area part of this mansion that has just been overrun by ghosts and other different creatures. So that's why it's now become the Haunted Household. Of course, it wouldn't be Lunal Lane without finding areas to collect gems. So I'm going to show you one of the locations that you can collect a gem. You can enter this room, which is like a haunted guest room. You can kill the Plirits, and then you can get a gem. Haunted guest room. Haunted guest room. This gem was found in the back of a haunted guest room. You can also see I showed this off on the community tab. I have this awesome little mirror here. One of the cool things about that mirror is that only characters that are like humans and other races can actually be mirrored in front of it, so the monsters actually don't have a reflection. Here's the last little area I'm going to show off. This should look very similar if you've seen the original game. I had these floating tables in the original game, and I thought, I can't just leave those in the original game. I have to bring them back somehow. I added the floating tables back in. You can see, I think they're really cool. I really like how it adds a little bit of verticality to the level. Without just having a bunch of jumps, you can just stand on these and just let it rise up and go down. I think they're really cool. I have a completely wide open area here, and I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a spoiler. There's going to be a town inside this area as well. I'll let you guys think on what that could be, what kind of town would be inside of a haunted house. But I am adding a town into here. Also, just so you guys know, these aren't all the areas that are going to be added in here. There's also going to be a really big kitchen area where you'll fight the boss of this area. And there's also a more sinister, evil haunted area that's not just cute little ghost enemies. There's actually some pretty creepy evil enemies that I have designed. So that's just a few things that I've added into the game recently. Just a small look at this new area and a small look at new enemies and sounds. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please consider liking and subscribing if you like the content, and if you want to see more, just subscribe because that makes sure that you get to see more. Since I've changed and added so much stuff, I'm going to be starting a new series on my second channel called Extra Bits, where I'm going to talk more in depth about a bunch of random stuff from my game. If you are a patron, you're going to be able to see those videos first, but they'll come out at a later date for everybody else. So look in the link in the description for the second channel, and definitely be sure to check that out. Well, that's going to be it for this video, and as always, I'll see you in the next devlog.